Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea. Welcome to She Heals I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, December 20th, and this is episode 198 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete. Always by my side, the wonderful, the lovely.
Hey guys, Avi Ale here. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, Avi. Thank you for being here as always. It's only 5 days away from Christmas.
I know, I have a lot to do.
Be sure to get all your shopping done, any cooking done. We have the Starlight celebration that hit this week to get into that holiday spirit. But you know what, Avi?
Chicken butt. You know why?
Chicken thighs. But I feel like it's Christmas every week.
Bullshit.
Because of you.
No, you would not, because I'd be like a big old stress ball of I still have to make tamales, and I still have to make the gingerbread cookies, and I still have to da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
But do you know why it really does always feel like Christmas to me?
Why?
Because every week we have amazing listeners that choose to use either their Amazon Prime or their hard-earned cash on subbing to us.
That was ridiculous.
That was called a transition.
That was ridiculously forced.
Hell yeah. We have first-time subs from Caters and Major Penguin 85 for 2 months. We have Allura for real, Love Truck 17, and I always mess this one up, Satyr Eagle's Claw. I think that's it. Disco Cub via Ace Kaneki Overlord for 3 months. Monica Starn, 3 months. Spoonie Bardarolin,
You are a butcher.
3 months.
Such a butcher.
Pete the Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Adeline for 4 months. Kaizen Ken for 5 months. Agitated Salamander, 7 months. Jessa, 9 months. Midnight N713, 13 months. Hyper Pixie Gaming, 14 months. And Aja 30, 24 months. That's 2 years right there.
Pete just mathed
If
for
I
you
can
guys.
math.
Oh my gosh, he must really like you.
So thank you to all of those subs, and thank you to all of you joining us here live. Twitch.tv/SheHealsITank. Thank you to all of you that listen to the podcast as well or watch it on YouTube later. We just started doing that. Check it out. It really is because of all of you that makes doing this little podcast worthwhile. It's an amazing community of people on Discord as well. Join it. That's how you can call the show as well.
That was weird. Discord as well. Join it. Like subversive, trying to like sneak that in there.
Join it. So you can call in, have our fingers crossed. We did a baking stream over the weekend. Our setup got a little bit wonky. We're hoping that we have it set up to take calls again.
By the way, guys, if you ever stream or do podcasts, everything is very finicky. And if you move it, it gets grumpy.
It does. Don't move me. Just leave me in my chair. This is the last episode of the year. So if you want to get on the show in this year, you got to call in tonight. We're going to be talking about the live letter, a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV drama. Let us know what you think. Open phones. Join that On Deck channel in the Discord. I think we have a fun show tonight. Lots of stuff to talk about to hold us over until the new year. Let's get right into it with everyone's favorite segment.
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute. And this was brought up in our Discord about what the different icons for the fates mean.
You mean like the big purpley like explosions with the gold frame?
Yeah, they're not that big, but they will be marked on your map. If you open up your map in a zone, it will show you what fates are up.
Kind of like a quest marker, but they're the fate marker. Not the fat marker, the fate.
They are fate markers.
Fat fate.
And they are purple with a golden outline, and they have a symbol in the middle of them.
Is the official color for them purple?
It looks purple to me. Do you have another?
Well, they're kind of like magenta, pinky, purple. That's why I was asking. I wasn't trying to be like.
Not going to argue the color.
No. I literally wasn't asking like what color are you deeming them, but I was like, is that the official color they're called?
I did not consult Square Enix. I did not email I did email Yoshi. He didn't email me back.
I just meant you could literally. There's this thing called Google.
He left me hanging.
Or Yahoo. Or MSN, or even Ask.com, they would all let you know.
I asked Jeeves.
Is Jeeves still around?
Jeeves is dead.
I thought so.
All right, so these are the fate icons. The first one that I'm going to talk about looks like a battle axe and a couple of swords that are crossing each other.
I think one of those is a spear.
One of them might be a spear, maybe a javelin. This means you're going to slay some enemies. This fate is going to have waves of monsters coming to...
Waves?
Waves.
You guys, you couldn't, if you're listening to the podcast, you couldn't see that Pete actually did the waves with his arms when he said that.
Yes, because they come in waves. And so you're going to have to fight off a lot of monsters, but they are going to be like appropriate to your level. They're not going to be way overpowered like the next bunch, which is the Notorious Monster. And this looks like 2 eyes and a mouth.
It's like a jack-o'-lantern.
This is
Monster
a Notorious
face with
Monster. It's going to be one single monster, and it's going to be pretty difficult to take down on your own if you're not like geared appropriately.
Be careful, though. There will also potentially be ads around the big guy.
Yeah, but not ads as part of the fate. Just
no, they can be assisted by ads. It
open
says it
world
right
ads.
there.
Oh, I don't remember those. But yeah, so you usually want at least a tank and a healer. You can probably take down just about any of these fates with a tank and a healer.
Very slowly.
With a healer and a DPS, it takes a little bit longer, and you have to do more healing instead of DPSing as the healer. And the next one is gathering items, and this one is symbolized by a sack. Just one singular sack.
It's like a sack of money is kind of what it looks like.
And during these fates, there's going to be stuff on the ground that you can gather, and there's also going to be a mob that you can kill, and then it will also drop an item. And once you pick up the items or get the items from killing mobs, you turn them into a quest giver. And then you get some fat fucking XP. Next one is defense, and this one is symbolized by like a castle tower.
Also known as a rook.
And in this, you're going to be assisting NPCs and defeat waves of multiple monsters in one general area. It's kind of like the slay enemies, but you're usually like trying to keep NPCs alive. That's usually what it is. And then the last one, the most boring of all of them.
The worst fate of all time.
Symbolized with a shield with a cross on it is the escort mission. That one is, or escort fate. That is pretty much self-explanatory. There's going to be a person that you have to get to point A to point B, and there's going to be different monsters popping on your way through.
It's not fun.
And then there also are like maybe 6 or 7 other special fates throughout the game that don't show up on the map, and they're usually called out in zone chat or FC chat. That's stuff like Odin or the Fox fate.
The special fates.
Special fates. And some of them have like objectives that you have to complete to get them to pop, and that's too involved to go into. So if there's a fate you want, just Google it. A special fate you want, just Google it.
Google the how-tos. You mean like I just said for you to do?
I wasn't listening, Avi.
I know.
I was so preoccupied because we're about to get to Avi's favorite segment. It's the tweet of the week.
This needs a different intro for me because like Greenleaf Minute is right before this, and that's everyone's favorite segment.
Everyone but you. This is your favorite segment. It's the
just,
tweet of the week.
It's an original when you like introduce it the exact same way.
No, but this is your favorite.
He's smart, guys. I married him because he's smart.
All right, you pick this one. This is the first one Avi's ever picked.
Is it?
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think so. This tweet I just thought it was a very, very nice tweet. And this tweet comes from @Rathok, who says, y'all keep saying the first, quotes, baking stream, but it was so well put together, I sense a secret baking channel out there somewhere. It indeed was a blast. Thank you for hosting it, and thank you to the She Heals I Tank community for helping make it happen with #SmileBringers. So yes, thank you, Rathok, and thank you, everyone. Like, that's actually why I really like this one, because this wouldn't have happened without you guys. And so, like, that was, yes, our first time streaming it, but when I owned my bakery, I did do a lot of demonstrations. I did a lot of demos. I did teaching classes. We have the San Diego Fairgrounds. I actually was up on a stage with one of those little microphones talking, and I am familiar with presenting my cakes. So.
And she was the first stripper baker at Deja Vu.
No, not even. I was the third. No. Aw, thank you, Ian. Ian just said I was a good host.
All right. Thank you for that tweet of the week, Avi. Now it's time to get into news and notes from around the realm. Why don't you kick it off with this first one?
So there's new merchandise available for pre-order on the Square Enix site. They have some new acrylic stand figures that are available, which include Ardbert and Y'shtola for $18 each, Emmett Selk, the Crystal Exarch, and Urian J for $20 each.
And I'm just wondering, is like they're like a little bit more acrylic on those ones? Is that why they bumped up the price?
Well, those ones are
$2.
like the custom art. I haven't looked at them in a bit. I looked at when they first came out, but those ones they're really cool actually. See if I can open it up. I didn't know there was actually a price difference.
They're really cool, but I don't see why one's $2 more than the other.
Yeah, I don't know why they're more expensive. I would assume they'd all be the same, but maybe those ones use more colors or something. Just make them all $20, I think. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Or just make them all $18. Why you want to spend more money?
Because they like money. So, and then they have some that come in pairs, which are like Thancred paired with Reen, and then Alisaie with who, Pete? Who does she?
Her brother.
Oh, what's his name?
Alisaie's brother.
Okay. Alpha no. And each of the pairs run for $23 each. They also have new job pins available. All of the crafter and gather jobs now have pins, as well as Gunbreaker, Dancer, and Blue Mage. So if you really, really want them pins, get on it. Pre-order them before they're gone.
I hit my mic, so I have to take a drink of the bad drink.
You're the only one doing that.
You're doing that if you hit the mic.
I'm not drinking that. Pete, okay, so he'd like to change the subject. Pete came in. He's like, "Hey, Bub, I got this drink for you if you want to drink it." And I didn't really read. It said hard wine fusion, something berry. And I was like, all right, I trust him. Open it up. It tastes like the fruitiest, nastiest energy drink, which I don't like energy drinks. And it ends up, it's like a Mad Dog 2020 thing. And it's horrific, and he's just laughing, thinking he's the funniest person
I wish I would have
ever.
had video of her tasting it.
It was really bad. I was like, what did you just give me?
And they also have new job pins. Did you already say that part?
Mm-hmm.
$10 each.
You didn't put the price in, so I did not say that part.
And Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, The Art of Reflection, History's Forsaken is available for pre-order actually on Amazon. You don't actually have to go to the Square Enix site for this one.
Nope.
So you can actually get it without having to pay an exorbitant amount of shipping. It is described as a gorgeous, oversized, full-color art book showcasing the artwork from the massively popular online video game, Final Fantasy XIV. Delve into the breathtaking world of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers in this deluxe volume, featuring hundreds of beautiful illustrations of characters, environments, equipment, and more.
And a free minion.
You can pre-order it for $29.97 with a list price of $39.99, and the title will be released on May 12th, 2020.
And I forgot to put note, the most important thing is you also get a minion. You get the Y'shtola oh my god, I just blanked on what she goes by. The other witch name.
It was Y'shtola? I thought I saw that it was a Dulia Chai minion.
Was it? Am I remembering wrong? I see I've got the link right here. Boop.
I hope I'm right. I hope you think that minion.
Oh, it is a Dulia Chai. That's kind of amazing, actually. That's a really, really great minion.
You are like, damn.
Honestly, all I remembered were cat ears and a big black coat.
You're like, Y'shtola been hitting them honey cakes.
No, that's honestly all oh my god, and she's got her husband in her hands, and he's like, because she hugs him so hard, and he's like minion sized for her. It's actually kind of cute. We will be linking the link for this in the show notes.
Linking the link.
It's been one of those weeks, you guys. Got a lot going on.
I think that's a pretty good price. I did look at the book. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, $30 is really good. $40 is a little pricey, but $10 off, that's actually not bad.
And you get a minion. You could probably buy the book, and if you don't care about minions like me, sell the minion.
Or give it to your wife.
Give it to the chat.
Your wife, happy life. Sure you've heard that one? The 14th season of The Feast will start with patch 5.18. Top-ranking players will receive special rewards, and they're actually really cool. So if you want to play some PvP, give it a shot for some cool loot, which Pete doesn't even go on to describe.
I mean, I didn't look at what it's actually going to be this season, but it's always cool. The Feast rewards is always really cool. So if you can stand PvP, if you can put in the time for it, really you just have to get like high up in the rank and then just kind of stop playing. Usually you don't move up or down too much.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't want to risk losing. And Chili says he doesn't think the Feast gear has been shown off yet.
No, it hasn't.
But it's always cool.
It is always really cool because they want people to do it.
New optional items are now available on the Mog Station, so if you're looking to buy an in-game friend a gift for Christmas or the holidays, one of these might be a good choice. You never know. You can get the choir attire for $5, which includes the choir hat, robe, and shoes. Also $5 each are the authentic Silver Starlight Centennial, 5 baskets of authentic Starlight Donuts, authentic Evercold Starlight Snowman, authentic open Twinkle boxes, and for $3, you can get the Starlight Starbright Orchestrion Roll.
Ooh.
Which is, I think all of that was from last year's event, right? I know the choir was because we had to ring the bells.
Yeah, I think it actually all was. There is also a new screenshot contest going on right now. It's the Star Companion Screenshot Sweepstakes. The description reads, "This Starlight celebration, we'd like to show our gratitude to the faithful Chocobo companions that have been a part of our lives for so many years. We are challenging participants to snap a screenshot with their Chocobo while you both enjoy the Starlight celebration and share it with the world. You are able to submit a maximum of 4 screenshots of you and your Chocobo. The rewards are, of course, the usual Scarf of Wondrous Wit, Ahriman Choker, Mandragora Choker, Bluebird Earring, Noble Barding, and Gaelic Hat."
Can't they do like a new set every year? Is that too much to ask?
It obviously is. And you will be submitting your screenshots through Twitter in order to enter this contest. You will need to follow the Twitter account of @FF_XIV_EN and then post your entry on the Twitter account and include the following in the post: your screenshot, a link to your character profile on the lodestone, an @mention of FF_XIV_EN. Use the hashtag FFXIV, and finally the hashtag Starlight19 sweepstakes along with the prize that you want.
And the number's 19. Don't spell it out.
Right.
You won't win.
Nope. So, I know that we definitely see a lot of screenshots shots on Twitter that are really good. So,
post your screenshots to @AviAle.
You might think that I can compete with those, and good news for you is that this sweepstake is the winners will be chosen at random. And there will be 100 winners. So literally just get all your stuff in the picture. Like, so you meet those minimum requirements and it doesn't matter how good the picture is.
Yeah, you don't need to be using reshade or anything like that. Just got to be you on your...
It says minimal effort screenshots here, guys.
On your derpy looking Chocobo.
I actually think it would be amazing like if we had like a rush of people who literally just like had no gear on and Santa hats or something. Like they're literally minimum effort. Like, look, got it.
You got a chance.
Yeah, just as much as everybody else.
Usually, like, when you have to submit to the forums or something, there aren't that many people that submit, and basically, if you play along, you win.
You say that, but I entered the Starlight Celebration one where you decorate your house, and I put a lot of effort into that.
Okay, anywhere they're picking, like, 100 winners.
Oh, yeah, I did not win.
That was probably, like, 10 winners or something like that.
No, I think it had a lot. I was like, and I was looking at some of the screenshots, and I was like, F you! Mine is so much better.
And so, yeah, good luck to all of you submitting screenshots. Are you going to do it, Avi?
No.
Why not? This one's easy.
Because I don't want any of the prizes.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
There will be an all-worlds maintenance on December 23rd from 10 p.m. Pacific until 2 a.m. December 24th, getting ready for patch 5.18.
Woohoo! Why are we calling it 18 and not 1.8?
I just called it 18.
You're weird.
Teaching me some lore, Avi. What do we got?
I didn't actually even realize we were at that segment. All right. So this is a multiple part question, but it's not a multiple choice question.
Hold on. I got to say, I like Chili's suggestion for this patch name. 5 point, the patch is barely legal.
Wah, wah.
I thought it was
5
good.
point Billie Eilish. You guys. So this is a multiple part question, but it's not multiple choice because I believe in you. So I'm sure you remember that Raubon lost his arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which arm did he lose?
Dude, I asked this question.
Who struck the blow to remove the arm, and who was that person protecting?
Okay. I fucking asked this question during one of the things where I asked listeners.
So then you should know it.
I should. I can't remember what fucking arm it was. I think think it was his right arm. Yeah, 50-50 chance on that one. What the fuck is that dumb nut's name? I can picture his hair. He had it like slicked back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get multiple choice on this one.
I didn't make multiple choice.
I would know his name if I heard it. Oh, come on.
He becomes somebody else, kind of another character essentially.
Yeah, I know the guy. I can picture him.
Well, you can tell me
clearly in
who he
my
becomes, and that will help. That's like that. We fight him in a dungeon.
Is it the Griffin?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who I thought.
Okay.
But what's his fucking name?
I'll tell you when you get the last part. Who is he protecting?
He's the fucking Lala with the mustache. We made a drink about this motherfucker, didn't we?
I don't know.
The Lolo Rito?
It is.
Yeah.
So you actually got most of this right.
This is his left arm.
It's his left arm. And his name is Ilberd Fear.
Ilberd.
Ilberd,
I
who
didn't know his
later
last-
becomes the Griffin. I would have taken Ilberd.
Didn't know his last name, but I knew it was Ilberd.
It was right after like Raubon goes like all crazy berserker.
Oh, I can picture the scene exactly. That's when Y'shtola used her flow ability
Mhm.
to get us the fuck out. And then she was lost in the live stream. And then she came out naked.
I will give you that one, Pete.
So naked.
Is
All
there
right,
less
still
naked?
undefeated. Hell yeah. Thank you for that question.
I figured like people like KK made a comment about my like, oh god, random lore, like totally nondescript, like obscure. Who thinks of this lore? So I tried to make one that you would potentially at least know part of.
Yeah, I should have known the arm thing. I asked that fucking question before, but it
Yeah.
was like something that I just thought of randomly and then looked at a picture of him. And like I didn't try to retain that information.
That's fair.
All right, let's get into discussion, Avi. We got a live letter 56 this week. We actually watched a bit of it on the big screen TV. Not even on our computers. We watched it live. Part of the 14-hour broadcast. This was a live letter that had a preview for patch 5.2. But in the beginning, we got a little bit of information on the patch that's happening next week, patch 5.18. In the news, we mentioned that the next season of the feast is coming in patch 5.18. But there's also more stuff that's coming with that. We're going to be getting the removal of the lockout with Savage. So that means you'll no longer have a weekly restriction on gear. You'll be able to get as much gear as you want, so you can gear all those alts if you so choose. And you'll also be able to buy the Deep Shadow Solvent with the manufactured coin from the 24-man raid. That solvent lets you upgrade your tome weapon to eye level 470.
Fancy.
There's also going to be a number of adjustments to the new PvP, Ansal Hakir, the Nadim, based on the feedback they received after its initial release, which again, they could have known if they had a test server. First, they noticed that ninjas were standing out in terms of power, so they're planning on making some adjustments to them. Second, they also recognized that points earned through knockouts were too effective. To address this, they're planning to adjust the number of points earned from knockouts and the number of points required for a victory. So, like, basic parts of what they should know for PvP have to be changed after 1 week. There's, like, no testing that goes into this.
I mean, it was only a week.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, but I mean, like, it doesn't bother me because it was only a week.
it's just ridiculous. Like, if you're going to put something out, have it a little more tuned than that you don't have to make adjustments after 1 week.
I guess it's better that they do it after 1 week than letting them sit there and be wrong.
Unless it's just like a knee-jerk reaction. And in 3 weeks, you want KOs to be worth a lot because the matches are going so slowly. Who knows?
That's true.
And finally, there's been a noticeable increase in one-sided matches, which they believe may be due to multiple parties coordinating to queue at the same time under the same ground company to be placed in the same team. Their solution to this will be to change how teams are formed, players will be distributed into random teams regardless of their grand company. So basically forcing everyone to be a freelance instead of you having to click that option.
You guys find a way to beat the system, and the system beats you back.
I mean, why don't they just make it so you can't queue with parties and everyone's a freelance? Be done with it. That's what everything's leading to anyways.
Yes.
Just get it done with.
It is.
I can save you this one. You don't need a test server. Just do it. Oh, you want to take this one?
If you want me to.
Go ahead.
So now we're going to get into a really big topic that we talked about last week. The nerf to butts. Yoshi explained that Final Fantasy XIV has a feature that automatically adjusts the size of the buttocks based on the combination of equipment worn on a character. However, the 2B attire was released without this feature enabled, which caused the buttocks to stick out when it was worn with certain equipment.
Do you feel like the normal system is actually like adjusting the size of the butts? Like, I don't really feel like it ever gets any bigger.
No.
It's just like, why do they do this? Why don't they just let the buttocks...
We have a lot of concave...
Why don't they let it fly free?
They don't like butts.
Why are they putting us in Spanx all the time?
They like them flat ass. Spanx actually can lift your butt. These are like wrapping your booty in ace bandage, trying to flatten it out. So they attempted to fix the issue in patch 5.15 by enabling the feature as how it should have been implemented originally. But this caused the buttocks to shrink depending on the combination of the gear worn. So, if they can make it in time, the plan is to temporarily remove the feature in patch 5.18, which will cause the buttocks to stick out once again. They will adjust the feature itself so that it will not make unnecessary size adjustments. Here you guys, get it here first. Breaking news, really important stuff here. Yeah, and I mean, I think somebody likes a pancake booty. Penguin.
I like how this caused like the most outrage ever.
Well, because it was so fun. We finally had good butts. Like, it even had, like, little sink in on the side of the cheek, like real butts have. And, like, it was like, yes, thank you. Like, they honestly just look like real butts.
But they said they are going to adjust it depending on the combination of gear worn. What if your gear set that you actually like this on is affected by that? What if they make that butt pancake booty?
It's a bummer, but I don't...
Will you riot?
I'm not Vegan Pete, who wears the same glamour for years. I'll just not use that glamour.
And I rock that shit with the pancake booty.
Everybody's saying, butt sliders, just make butt sliders. Reinstall a bug that cause complaints. Yeah, it's amazing. Sorry, I can't talk.
So, speaking of patch 5.18, they also made the announcement that Final Fantasy XIV has reached 18 million players, Avi.
Well, active subscriptions. That's
active subscriptions?
That's what I think the term was when I read it.
They definitely do not have 18 million active subscriptions. They have 18 million adventurers. That's 18 accounts that have been made. Nowhere does it say it's active.
Oh, I thought I read.
We definitely for sure know this is not active accounts.
18 million subscriptions is what Chili's saying. 18 million subs. That's what I thought I read too. I don't have the link up for me to quickly pull.
I have a feeling this is the same shit we get every year, where it's just 18 accounts have been made. Huh?
You can keep talking. Pete literally...
I don't know what you're pointing at.
Well, if I'm pointing at Discord, I'm always only ever pointing at the fact that we have people on deck.
All right. So,
I don't know who was there first.
Yeah. I call bullshit on this, or I don't call bullshit. They have 18 accounts that were made. That's what I'm willing to give them. If you guys are telling me it's subs, I'll go back and research that number. But every time before this, it has not been subs.
I'm going to pull Chili in because I'm sure he's got some answers on this for you, Pete.
All right. Be prepared to adjust them because we don't know how our system is. Chili, how are you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad. How about you?
Pretty good, Chili. Are you here to correct me, or do you have something else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm going to correct you first, but there was
I knew
something
it.
else
See, I knew I
wanted to
pulled the
talk
right
about.
person in first.
It means that they were active at some point, so they got past the free trial, so they paid for 1 month and then they cancelled the sub. Doesn't mean they're active now. Just means that at one point in time, that account did pay for a month.
Or
So
would it not just be the free month that you get for buying the game?
Well, yeah, probably that counts as well. It just means that they they purchased the game and they've made an account.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than just downloading the trial.
Then I will say 18 million purchases.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I said, there'll be 18 million subs. players.
Pete has some things that just really grind his gears that I
I
don't quite
guarantee
understand.
you, if they had 1 million current subs, they would announce that.
They did actually have 1 million subs.
On every census I've looked at, it doesn't even approach
The
that.
last census was one of the biggest, if I'm rightly.
Mhm.
The Lucky Bancho was,
Well,
I think,
maybe
it
in
was
the
just
new
over-
year we'll discuss that census, because I think I read something different than you.
Yeah, I thought I read 1.1 million, which was one of their biggest numbers they've had, which they should have celebrated really if it was true. But it's Square Enix. They don't.
Yeah, right. I
Ah.
pulled up FFXIV census while you guys talk.
All right, so we'll discuss this 18 million number maybe in the new year. What else did you have to tell us?
I mean, I find it funny that everything's barely legal in this episode right now. Catch 18 million subs. What's next?
About to be banned. We're barely legal.
You guys.
I think I'm gonna bring up my favorite part of the 14-hour live stream.
Okay, Mahjong.
That's one of my favorites, but no, the Yokai Watch is coming back.
Yes. Did Yoshi P get drunk again with the guys from Yokai Watch? Is that what
I
happened?
won't be surprised because the guy came in and says, "Oh, that you've got new jobs now." And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, I need to add weapons and minions for the new jobs." And Yoshi's like, "Okay, so yeah, we're getting a Gunbreaker, Dancer, Samurai, and Red Mage weapons for Yokai Watch."
That makes sense.
I don't
And
have
there'll
any
also be
problem with
4
this. I know a lot of people ripped on Yokai Watch and wouldn't be surprised if I ripped on Yokai Watch a little bit. I think maybe I've evolved on this a little bit. I thought they were kind of dorky to begin with, but I'm okay with them. I'm okay with those minions. Some of them
They're
are kind
actually
of cool.
pretty adorable, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
don't have
if you
any
haven't
of
got them before, I'm gonna go after my second mount on this. Well, third mount, I guess, on this character.
Cray, Chili,
So-
cray.
But I want my Ghost Sperm.
I know it's
My
an amazing.
shiny ghost
It's an
sperm.
amazing ghost sperm.
What if
mount.
they only introduced new armor and didn't do any of the old minions?
That'd be silly.
Well, no, they've said that you'll be able to get your old stuff back again.
Okay.
No, it took me a while to realize some of the details in that mount. Some of it's really cute. Like if you look behind the wheel,
It's a very cute sperm.
if you look behind the wheel, you can actually see a little coin slot for
Mm,
there's a rocket like a rocket. I love all the little details
nice.
and the fact that the speed meter is like a sticker.
Little slot.
Yeah, all
for your
those minions
penis.
were very well
Yeah.
designed. It makes sense that the mount would
Yeah.
be too.
Right. Any other
yeah.
favorite part of the live letter?
The fact that we're getting can I say this? The fact that we're getting Ruby Weapon as a trial.
We'll be talking about that in a little bit.
Yay! That's one of my favorite parts.
But you told me something the other day, and I didn't have this part in the outline. What Final Fantasy game is it from?
7.
So it is a Final Fantasy VII reference. I haven't gotten to that one yet, so it was lost on me.
Yeah, during the fight, if it was on the only fights, because you have a team of 3 players for those Final Fantasy games, as you know from playing Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy IX and Final Fantasy X. If you went into the fight normally, he would just kick 2 people in your party out of the game, and you can't play with them during the fight until you get killed.
Hmm.
The only way to actually skip that mechanic was actually to kill 2 of your teammates before you went into the fight.
So interesting mechanic in the single player game. I imagine in 14 they can kind of do that with putting you in jail, having to break people out of jail,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. Always excited for new trials. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Chili.
Thank you.
And
I hope everyone has a good Christmas. Bye.
Happy
Yay.
New Year. All right, and it looks like we got T-Learn on deck. So Avi, go ahead and bring T-Learn on to live on air. Put him in there so they can hear us, that we're talking to them.
Hey, to learn.
Hi,
Hey, how are you doing, T-Learn?
I'm good. I'm a lot less nervous this time around.
Good.
All right, what do you got for us tonight?
So I fangirled a lot about with the new reveal about Ruby Weapon. That was the thing that I got really excited about, especially because of the name with the patch quest. It makes it seem like they're doing a repeat
Mhm.
of some core implications from Final Fantasy VII, Echoes of a Fallen Star, Ruby weapon and their weapons in Final Fantasy VII were constructed and revitalized to come to the planet's defense, and so that makes me very interested to think about if they're going to do any kind of repeat of that motif and everything. That I'm really super excited about that.
Okay, I had also heard someone say, like, because of the patch name, we could be visiting, or not visiting, but getting something about another shard that had been destroyed. Was there something in Final Fantasy VII called Midgar?
There was.
Okay.
There was. Midgar was the city that was. Midgar was the main city that was kind of destroyed and ruled over by Shinra. So that's the main setting for majority of Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Yeah, people are making fun of me, chat. They're like, that's where you live. I'm like, I haven't played it.
That's why I was trying not to laugh, but I was like, Mocha Jones just threw some shade at Pete. He hasn't played it yet. That's next, right?
I'm on 8, and then 7 is next.
Yeah, 7 is next.
Yeah, and there's actually some Final Fantasy VIII lore that they're tying in. It looks like within that I'm really excited about with the name Anamnesis, that actually roughly translates to recollection or altered memory. So, and because they said a NIDER anamnesis, that's, again, I don't know how many of the viewers have actually completed the post MSQ stuff. But yes, that's a big deal that we're going to be returning there.
Yep, and we will be talking about that a little bit. So was Ruby Weapon the thing you were most excited about, just like Chili?
Ruby Weapon was the thing I was most excited about, but also returning to that dungeon and it seeming like we're going to get a little bit more. I'm hoping we're going to get a little bit more of a reveal, a little bit more clarity about some of the things post 5.1, because I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, we will be having a wild speculation before the next patch, so of course feel free to call in during that as well.
Always fun.
Yes.
Do you have do you have any wild speculation now that you want to throw out there? Do you want to be the first?
Oh, sure. I guess my speculation is we know that we've only seen a couple of those white robe figures, and very distinct. We've only seen Elidibus and we've only seen Unokalai, and I do think that we've actually seen 3 of them because we have seen Allegan cloning, and I do think that it's probably some kind of clone or some altered representation of somebody like Unokalai. That way, because I think that Elidibus is trying to keep Unokalai intact right now. We don't really know completely where his allegiance lies because his allegiance isn't completely ours, but he also doesn't really. I don't think Elidibus wants to completely alter him yet, because especially if he's could be a shard of ours, there's wild speculation about that.
Yeah.
And if that's one of those ways that Elidibus can finally destroy us. But I don't think I don't think we're gonna see any major showdowns yet until closer to 5.4 or 5.5 with Elidibus.
Yeah, they're gonna draw that out a bit.
All right, so maybe Unokalai entering the game once again. Well, thank you for that wild speculation, T-Learn.
Always Pete's favorite.
Yes. Yep, that's the big one, or some kind of carryover with repeat characters and stuff, and Allegan clones and stuff. I'm sure that they're gonna have some. I'm sure they're not gonna completely go away, because that's a popular theme in Final Fantasy.
Yep. I think it'd be really fun.
I think they should just introduce Dr. Manhattan and he'll snap all the Ascians away. We can finally be done with him.
That's not random or weird at all, Pete. You can tell he gets his mind on one show he's watching and then tries to tie everything to that.
Well, thank you so much, T-Learn. Have a great night. Have a happy new year. Thank you so much for calling
Really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so as Chili and T-Learn kind of just previewed right now, we are getting to patch 5.2. The official name that we got for that was Echoes of a Fallen Star. So that definitely seems like a shard that had fallen to me. One that is one that we can't save like we did to the first one that has been destroyed. This patch will be dropping in mid-February, and they give us a kind of picture of Ardbert, who I don't know if it is Ardbert or just someone that looks like Ardbert.
Right. Well, it's like, or it's the warrior of light or darkness, I guess, on a different planet.
Because they say looks
or different stars.
Eerily similar to Ardbert.
Yeah, like it's a different version of him kind of thing.
With a hollow expression on his face is what they said.
Yeah. So it could be a clone.
Clone, warrior of light from another world that has fallen, and he kind of would...
I'm with Chili. Chili even just said it ain't Ardbert. Like we're calling him Bad Bert.
Because that's what the theory around Unakauhai was, there, right? That he was from a different shard, and so we could have
multiples of people.
Another Ardbert.
Right. Alternate Gendry, alternate Ardbert. Yeah, however you want to call him.
So yeah. The new dungeon, as T-Learn was saying, was called Anamnesis. I can't say this word. Anamnesis.
You did pretty good there.
Anamnesis.
Anamnesis.
Andir will be added. They called it the ASEAN official residence during development.
It's beautiful looking. With the concept art.
So this takes place in Amarat. According to Google, anamnesis means the remembering of things from a supposed previous existence.
Which T-Learn just mentioned.
So basically, it's going to be
memories.
Yeah. Hopefully, we get a lot more information about Amarat. We also got the news going forward, Avi, that we will only be getting one dungeon per patch.
We used to get 3.
Yep. No more alternating between 2 and 1. Like they have always said with each reduction of dungeons that we've gotten in the past, they are doing this so they can allocate development resources to different types of content.
I mean, I guess we have a lot of dungeons. And you don't really ever care about the dungeons. You care about them the first time you do them.
I'm trying to think about their core content, though. Right. And, like, dungeons are definitely, like, the core content.
They are, but they have a lot of it. I guess, is what they're kind of looking at.
But when you're max level, how often do you go back and run the old dungeons?
I'm wondering if they're going to make it more worth your time.
I hope they make one dungeon a lot cooler than what it is now.
Yes, I do too. I'll agree with that.
I'm going to be a bit disappointed if it's the same old.
It's a dungeon exactly like the same mechanic style and everything as before. If it's one dungeon, give us more. I agree with that.
Yeah, because
make it a better dungeon.
This means that after an expansion, after Shadowbringer, or at whatever the next expansion is, we're going to get 5 dungeons after that.
It's not very many.
And it's a long time in between expansions.
Yeah.
So you get a decent amount during the expansion, but you get through all those right away.
Right.
To only have 5 more after that, that's a stretch in it. I mean, in my opinion, you could put all 5 in the expert roulette because
why not?
Yeah.
Because why not?
You're just gonna have one dungeon in each expert
roulette.
That's
actually what I was wondering. I'm like, so how is the expert roulette, or is the expert roulette just not going to be a thing anymore?
So yeah, make one dungeon, but maybe, just stretch it out a little bit. Maybe make it take a little bit longer.
Ace said, I want dungeons that offer more like trials and puzzles, things like how FF10 had cloisters of trials. Honestly, a lot of the Final Fantasy games had puzzles and trials.
I would like more puzzles in the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a core feature in a lot of the Final Fantasy games, except for the MMO ones. Which
like I was saying last week, even the first dungeon, Sastasha, at least had you go read that scroll so you could see what color coral to hit.
Well, and in 1.0, they were... Chili's like, please no, you have to do it every week. In 1.0, they were like that. They were too much, though, to the point where it was too much to have to do it with people. Like, we're not asking for it to be crazy
difficult. I can't think of any... Or 1.0, I don't know.
They changed them into 2.0. I don't want them to be so difficult, but I just would like some sort of, option to, I think there was some chat in Discord about you don't have to follow the rails. You can choose to skip a boss if you want to make the run faster, or if you really want the drop from the boss. Like, we don't have anything like that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if there was different options to choose from.
Yeah.
Maybe one way has one extra treasure coffer.
Right.
And you can go that way. It takes a little bit longer, a few more mobs to kill. Just a little bit different. I mean, it gets monotonous. I ran expert roulette last night for the first time in probably a month.
Mm-hmm.
I've stopped running dungeons.
I couldn't tell you last time I ran it, actually.
So that's a new dungeon we're getting, and we're only gonna get one each patch from here on out. They need. I mentioned this last week. It's okay to work on other types of content. I'm all for that.
Right.
You need to start hitting on some of it.
Yeah.
You swung and miss on Diadem. In my opinion, every fucking PvP has been a swing and a miss.
Mm-hmm.
You need to hit.
Yes.
Doesn't need to be a home run, but at least you fucking make a double.
Yeah, Talern brought up the puzzle that you did in the Drowned City. That was a lot of fun. That was solo content. But that was really, really, really cool. And I would love having more content like that. Maybe not that like in depth for the party content, but it would be nice to have stuff that's a little more unique like that. So one of like everyone's favorite pieces of content actually in the patches are the new beast tribes, and in 5.2 we will be getting another beast tribe. The next set of tribes will feature the Qatari tribe and will be for the disciples of the land players, because the 5.1 and 2 series is all about them crafters and gatherers.
I have a question that I just thought of. If they were to add one extra beast tribe to what they usually do in exchange for, let's say, 4 dungeons, is that worth it to you? To have one extra beast tribe? It would be to me.
I know, you love them. The Qatari are the first version of the Kikern that we have on the source. And this is going to be the first one we're getting that's just for the disciple of the land. We had the Mughals that were just for the crafters, as well as the Namazu that were for both the crafters and the gatherers. So it's kind of cool that they're doing something for gatherers specific. But Chili says he thinks he heard that we will not be getting another DPS beast tribe.
Oh, damn.
So interesting. Kind of cool. There's
what are we getting, man?
Another way to gather. We're getting stuff.
If you keep on taking shit away, you gotta give us something.
We're getting crafting and gathering. So of course we're going to get a new trial. It's actually a quest series that is going to be comparable to the 4 Lord series in Stormblood. This new series is being dubbed the Sorrow of Wurlit. The first trial in the series is named, as we just talked about, the Ruby Weapon, and of course the Ruby Weapon Extreme. They will, however, be introducing one other trial separate from the Sorrow of Wurlit, but it will be a huge spoiler, so they have no plans to reveal anything before the patch.
So that's cool that we're going to get 2 trials. And hopefully they give us an extreme version of this trial. Hopefully it's not just a normal...
Have they done that recently?
I don't know, but they don't usually give you 2 trials at once.
No, but
anyways.
I mean, they pretty much always give you a normal and an extreme. Pete's doing all the mic bumps tonight, you guys. I'm being good.
Gotta take a shitty drink.
Do that to yourself.
Yeah, but I think it's cool. I mean, I will gladly take a new trial in exchange for a dungeon. I haven't really thought about it. I probably should have done that since I do a podcast. I have no wild speculation on what this trial will be.
Well, we've got time to think about it.
Patch 5.2 will also bring us the next part of the Eden Raid series. This will be called Eden Verse. We didn't get much in the way of any hints. We will have another live letter that might have something for us before this hits. They will be releasing the normal version and Savage version at the same time this time. So if you want to do Savage right away, you want to log on early, get that normal mode done, so everyone has it unlocked when you're grouping up with your static, trying to get world first clear for Savage.
Nice.
Savage.
So on the other side of the live letter...
I'm going to take this one because you might be confused by the way I wrote this one.
Okay.
We're talking about new upgradable equipment. And I was even a little unsure about this slide because I wasn't sure if they were talking about what was going to be upgradable crafting and gathering tools, or if they were kind of teasing the new relic, but badly. What was on this slide was one part was marked as a secret. I don't even know why they do that. Don't tell me it's a secret. Just forget about it. Don't tell me anything. but they said it will focus on the Boja Citadel, home of the Hrothgar, and that story will continue in future updates after patch 5.2. That's all they gave you.
Okay.
But the background of this slide is all crafting and gathering.
Well, they kind of hinted at doing like a relic for the crafters and gatherers.
Yeah, they have confirmed that, and but they go into that on a later slide. So I'm like, why do this slide and the slide that they do later?
Even when I was going back and looking at the slides, the order that they presented things was kind of odd. Chili just says a probably female Hrothgar incoming.
Maybe like you'll see one, but we're not getting one.
That would be really cool, actually, to have female Hrothgar. I like this idea.
Dude, you can't even get different hairstyles. You think you're getting a whole other race?
That's true. I still can't even
whole
change
other
my bunny
gender.
hairstyle.
But yeah, like I said, I was a little bit confused because we get a slide for the crafting and gathering part later, but it is time for another relic weapon for the typical war or magic jobs. So hopefully they actually have more information on this on the next slide later, because like I said, it is time for a new one, a new actual relic. When you say relic weapon, everyone thinks of normal jobs, magic and war jobs, not crafting, which is going to be called Sky Tool job, or Sky Tools is your main weapon or tool. God damn it.
Thank you for that host, Rathok. Is that Rathok who hosted or Treyland? Treyland. I'm so sorry. Goodness. I'm tired.
So why don't you take
Been a lot of
Ishgardian
words.
Restoration, because I just butchered that.
I kind of spaced out. I'm sorry, Treyland. I love you all equally. So
I have you all ranked.
Ishgardian Restoration is going to receive some updates. They noted that the content introduced in patch 5.1 was intended and designed in order to introduce and incentivize new players to craft and gather, while 5.2 is going to bring in some high-end content. They are going to make expert recipes available in order to earn greater rewards. They will trigger statuses that are other than poor, good, and excellent, and these new statuses are actually going to be the key to increasing the item's quality. So it'll be kind of interesting what that kind of vague description actually means and how we actually see it implemented. There will be new collectible items added, and also a new ranking system, which will commend those who contributed greatly. There will also be separate rankings for each crafting and gathering class. You can earn points for each class when you contribute specified items, and the class ranking will be tallied up a 10-day period after the release of 5.2. The results of each world will be announced on the lodestone, and special titles will be rewarded to the top ranking crafters and gatherers, and there will also be additional achievements and rewards based on individual player contributions. It's a lot. It's kind of confusing. I think that once we see it all, it'll make a lot more sense.
So since they say this is going to be tallied during a 10-day period after the release of 5.2, I feel like that's what they think the maximum amount of time it is going to be to complete this next phase of the Ishgardian Restoration, which again, I think is way too quick.
It is. Because I actually was so excited to do it because I liked being a part of the thing and I liked working toward earning the items. But for some reason, once it was done, I stopped doing it.
There's no fucking point.
It wasn't fun anymore.
Because it doesn't feel like you're helping anymore.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was part of anything. So I was just like, okay, I don't really want to sit here and craft these items forever when I can just wait for this top to go cheaper on the market board.
We have 3.5 months in between patches. Make it last 2.5 months. Don't make it last 10 days. That's way too quick.
It's way too quick.
Make it a
maybe it'll be
fucking
reevaluated
grind.
every 10 days. There'll be new rankings. Maybe that's how that works. I'm not really sure about it. I think we're going to have to wait to see how that actually works out.
So that was the part that I was most disappointed about this slide, the 10-day period.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes me think it's going to be done in 10 days at the maximum.
Yeah.
Which means, like, if I want to have a chance of getting on this leaderboard and the patches drop on Tuesday, I go to fucking work. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of time to grind at night.
Yeah, that is really quick. 10 days is very, very quick. Some days I'm so busy, I log on like 2 days.
Yeah, and then if you're raiding, you're
some
spending
days, some weeks.
3 hours raiding on your raid nights.
You're not putting effort into just that.
And then I'm fucking done.
Major
after
Penguin
that.
has the answer, Pete. Don't work. #ProStream.
Living the
Craft
dream.
all day, every day.
Crafting stream 24/7. I will say I am excited about these expert recipes that they say are going to have different statuses other than poor, good, and excellent. I think, I really have no idea what those statuses would be.
Right. It was very odd the way they described them.
But hopefully it's something that's going to force you to actually pay attention and craft step by step instead of just doing a macro.
Mm-hmm.
Because the macros are nice when you're trying to get a whole bunch of fuck ton of scripts.
Okay.
Because you just want to put on Netflix, press a button every 45 seconds and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really engaging. That's not really fun. You're just doing it because you want scripts to make money, make gil, or make yourself some gear. But I preferred how it was in A Realm Reborn, where stuff was actually difficult to make, where you did pay attention, where you're like, ooh, I have a good, maybe I'm going to use this ability instead of that ability. But as things are right now, you just do a macro where it doesn't matter about the statuses at all. The only way you can get a little bit fucked is if you get a pour on a Brygot's Blessing or something like that.
Right.
Um,
Pete's talking about crafting now, guys. Woo!
and the viewership just went up by 10,000. All right, so yeah, I'm excited about that. I want some hard recipes that actually force you to pay attention to statuses instead of just macroing. I will specify a little asterisk on that. I want to make a few things that are very hard to get a reward. I don't want to make 1,000,000 things that are very hard to get a reward. If you're going to make me do 1,000,000, make it easy. If you're going to make me do 10, make it fucking hard.
Okay. So, in other news, Diadem announcement changes have come out as well. They have They have redesigned Diadem as
Got some of this
content
Mad Dog.
exclusively for gatherers. Once you reach level 10 on any of your Disciple of the Land class, you can then enter Diadem from the Firmament and gather items which will be used in the restoration of Ishgard in order to earn Sky Builder's scripts. Also, accessing Diadem will no longer require the Ceruleum tanks. You will gather in Diadem while moving from island to island. So if you remember Diadem, you would fly from island to island and kill the monster. So now you're going to go and gather from island to island. But you won't have to worry about being attacked by enemies. And in addition to gathering non-collectible items, you're also going to be able to gain experience points. So you'll be leveling your gatherers, which is really nice. And kind of like the gauges in Eureka, but probably not at all, Diadem actually has its own gatherer's gauge where you're going to use Aetheromatic Augur on creatures in the wild in order to obtain additional items. That was like how they phrased that. I honestly couldn't even go about trying to make that in any different words.
Why are you making shit up, Avi?
No, that's exactly how they phrase that. You're going to use your gauge using Aetheromatic Augur on creatures in the wild to obtain additional items. We don't know what those items are, how they relate to anything, but it'll be interesting. I like that they're not just trashing Diadem and not just saying, okay, that failed, go away. They're going, okay, that failed. Let's see if we can take that dev time and try to make it into something that works.
This is Diadem 3.0. They
That's
have
true.
already tried to redo it once. There is a certain point where you just go, we had what we thought was a good idea.
Well, no, but this is literally, they're just using the Diadem maps. Before was a rework. This is a, let's just not leave those zones sitting there doing nothing. This is literally them using the zone so they can make it a separate area where they can program the monsters differently so the monsters don't attack. So it's perfect for like the gathering kind of situation because this is contained, instanced zone area. So it lends itself really, really well to these sort of changes.
My question for this is, what are they going to do to keep it relevant after like the Ishgardian restoration? Because that's what it seems like it's tied into.
It's going to be the Palace of the Dead for your gatherers. That is what it will be. I think. It's essentially an easy way to go in and level your gatherers.
Okay, so just an easy way to go and level your gatherers.
Once the
gatherers are already easy to level.
Well, maybe people want to go someplace where they don't have to worry about changing zones when they level or anything like that. They don't have to, like they're just in the diadem, leveling up, going back in. Like, I don't know, Pete. I can't. I'm just saying.
Tell me what they're thinking.
I view this as like Heaven on High, Palace of the Dead, instanced area of leveling for your gatherers, which I think is actually kind of a cool concept to bring that design, that element to gathering. So why not? Let's see how it works out.
Palace of the Diadem on High. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested. I always like to see what they fucking come up with.
Aurora's telling me to get my crystal ball out so I can give Pete some of his wild speculation he really wants.
I think they might be wasting time trying to save Diadem. I love this game. I'm always cautiously optimistic, but I've been burned so many times.
I don't see. So I feel like what they did with Diadem last time, Pete, was them trying to save it. I don't think this is them trying to save Diadem. I think this is them acknowledging that what they tried to do with it before failed. And they're going, you know what, that did not work, but we do still have these separate instance maps that we can use in another way, like Palace of the Dead, like Heaven on High, but not that way. For gatherers, that makes sense.
Why did they change the name then?
Because why does that matter?
Call it the Diadu. Please do these.
Oh,
please do the Diadu.
Pete's just in the mood to argue about no matter what the thing is. All right. I can't discuss that. That's just asinine. All right. The Kupo of Fortune has been added to the Restoration of Ishgard.
Kupo?
And this is where you receive scratch-off tickets after contributing a certain number of items. You can use the tickets to redeem various rewards. This is them bringing the golden saucer to crafting.
So when they first announced this, like a long time ago, I thought they had billed it as something that people who couldn't contribute through crafting or gathering was going to be able to get somehow.
I don't remember.
And I don't know if it was going to be from turning in skins or whatever, but I thought it was for people who didn't have crafters and gatherers. I'm going to have to go back and look at that live letter because I could have sworn that's what they said it was for.
I have no idea.
But it seemed like it was going to be more crafting and gathering stuff. Turn in, get scratch-offs.
The like 2 sentences I just gave you are like all they gave us other than pictures of the scratch-off tickets. They didn't go into detail in the live letter about it, at least not from the slides and the notes that I had. It was a picture, 3 pictures and like 12 words. So that's what I got for you, Pete. So you can't really dive into that much further.
And you guys are a part of the show. So if you want to call in to correct us on something, go ahead. Also in 5.2, Avi, they will continue the revamp that they started on with Shadowbringers for crafters and gatherers. They're going to be adjusting some actions, easier to desynthesize stacked items, which I'm so happy about. You have no idea how many times I've been fishing like for specific things to make food, and I catch like a million other things to get my stack of 20 that I actually need. And then I feel wasteful if I just sell it, and I will click 100 times to desynthesize 100 shitty fish.
Oh, that's painful. Yeah, I've never done that.
I do that because I'm dumb.
Crazy person.
So if they can just do like, are you sure you want to desynthesize this whole stack? Yes, please. I would love that.
I really hope it doesn't just say yes, but it says yes, please.
Yes, please. Yeah, or yes, queen.
No, you
You
can't
want
say
that one?
No, you can't
You
say
want that one?
No, that does. You're not allowed to say that unless you're talking to the queen.
I'm talking about something that they could add to the game. I'm not saying it.
No, you'd say yes, please.
All right. They will also be removing the party requirement for progressing Grand Company Workshop items, which is nice.
Yes, I actually think it's
no
a great
longer
idea.
have to be like, is anyone available to come help me?
You can stand here naked. It's fine. I
Not
just
that
need
I've
your
done
presence.
that recently, but other people have done that recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'll try. I'm in a dungeon. There will also be a new feature to estimate the effects of your next actions. In the bit they showed, it was called a skill simulator. I'm not sure if this means you'll actually be able to simulate a craft to work on your rotation or actually learn what all the abilities will do, or if it just gives you a list of different actions you can do and how it will affect the next step of your actual craft. So I guess I don't know if that was clear from what I said. I want to know if it's a simulation where you're just practicing or a craft that you're actually making and it's going to help you. It's going to like help you tell you what the next action's going to do.
I don't know.
I would prefer if it's an actual simulation, like I use on separate sites, so you can practice your rotation, you can find out what works, and I'd like if they added that to the game, because I feel like everyone's biggest problem with crafting is it's really easy to level, but people don't actually know what the abilities do. Case in point.
Yeah. I'm playing with beanies and hats instead of listening to Pete talk about craft. Chat's laughing.
I knew what was going on. I could tell just by your fucking body language, okay?
Sorry, I love you, Boba.
I got 2 Jane hats, baby.
Yes.
Watch Firefly. If you don't, you're dead to me.
You're not.
All right. So, did you hear anything I said about simulations versus real crafts?
Mm-hmm.
I hope they add a simulator. I think it will help a lot of people learn what the abilities actually do.
Are you worried that's just gonna be like the sand, sea, and sky thing, essentially of crafters, though?
First of all, stone, sky, sea.
You can tell how often I go there. I don't ever go there.
Is amazing.
Okay.
When you're trying to figure out if you have the DPS.
Well, no, but so that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's just going to be like figuring out if you have the CP to do it?
No, I don't think it's going to be just for CP.
Well, not just for CP, but like and rotation. Like it's like
if there was an actual,
if you're actually capable of crafting the item you want, like what I see it being is like
I don't even think.
Can I finish my thought? This is going to be
if you get there
to see if you're able to craft the item you want based off of no quality or H quality and the amount of CP and skills that you have. So, like, it's going to be rotation-based for you to do it. And it's obviously always chance-based, but it'll probably be, like, the lowest possible option. With the lowest options, no excellence or anything. Are you able to craft that item?
They can easily make a simulation where it gives you the excellence goods.
But you don't want that because that sort of simulation isn't actually going to benefit you. Like, if you were going to do a simulation like that, you actually keep it at the lowest level, essentially, and if you can do it at that level, then you can do it at any level.
It does help you if you're crafting step by step. I agree with what you said is correct if you're trying to make a macro where you're trying to HQ something at the very minimum.
I wasn't even thinking about a macro. I was just thinking about learning how to craft an item.
No, by learning how to craft an item, you do want to know how to use the goods and the excellence.
I see. Those are important as well.
Yeah, because you want to know when something will benefit you more than something else. And as long as they add this as a simulation where you're not losing materials when you're trying to make something.
A simulator that's what it means.
I know, but they call it skill simulation, but we don't really know if that's what it is.
You're not going to, honestly, if you lose items in a simulator, then they named it wrong. Straight up.
Oh, hell yeah, but I mean, they do lots of things wrong.
Okay, but that's literally like a no.
Okay, so we'll move on from the simulation. Hopefully that's what it is, a true simulation where you can just play around with shit. Because a lot of people don't know what even the basic skills do. And if you can just play around without having to risk your materials, I think people will be more willing just to press some buttons to find out what they do. Equipment will no longer be lost when creating materia. They didn't go into detail. I'm assuming that you'll get the materia and the soul bond on the gear will go back to 0.
Okay.
Or maybe 1%, because if it's 0, maybe you could trade it or sell it or something like that. So maybe 1%. There will also no longer be a crafting class requirement for affixing materia. As long as you have any crafter at the appropriate level, you'll be able to meld the materia. I didn't even know this was a thing. Because, like, the way crafting is in this game, it pretty much makes you level everything. So I never even knew there was a class requirement for affixing materia, since I always had them all leveled.
I just went to the guy to fix the materia for me. Like, I just did that. I didn't even try to fix it myself.
If you're over melding, which crafters do.
I don't. If I go, Beba, do the thing.
Crafters, or used to be tanks, would do it too. And guess what, Avi? Fishing is getting some love.
Cool.
Biggest quality of life?
I have never equipped a fishing rod or spear.
You have it leveled?
Grand Company
Did you turn in all those fish?
Grand Company turn-ins. It's the lowest one, but yeah, Grand Company turn-ins. I think it's like 50 something.
So yeah, they're adding an all-purpose lure, so which is awesome. I no longer have to travel with a whole bunch of different lures.
I'm so proud
Since
of
they don't give us a tackle box, this is people were asking for a tackle box for a long time, and this is a good alternate option.
Instead of a tackle box to keep track
I don't
of
know what
all
the
your
fuck I'm
shit,
talking about
you're just
anymore.
going to get one thing, and then you don't need a box for it anymore. You can keep it in your pocket and just hope it doesn't poke you.
And you fishers out there will also be getting
all 2 of you
some exclusive content in the form of ocean fishing. You board a ship at specified times to enjoy fishing on the high seas.
It's called deep sea fishing.
Receive experience and scripts based
Who calls
on
it ocean fishing?
fish caught. Square Enix does. That's
it's
who.
deep sea fishing, guys.
What if you're not in the deep sea? What if you're just off the coast in the shallows?
It's still called deep sea fishing.
I don't know. Meeting certain conditions while aboard will grant all passengers the chance of a big haul. This might be the thing I'm most looking forward to in patch 5.2, Avi. That's not facetious. That's not a joke.
I know.
I want to see what the fuck this is.
What was that show where they'd like go
enjoy
up to
fishing.
Alaska and they'd like do the crabs?
Dude, I watched this show,
What's it called? I never watched it.
but I can't remember
You
what
just
it
want to
was.
be one of those guys.
No.
Deadliest Catch. This is your chance to be a Deadliest Catch guy, and you're like so excited for it. You're like, I'm gonna be the Deadliest Catch guy.
No,
I'm gonna come out with my big haul. It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you for that sub, Leonidas. You know what it's kind of like what you liked about the old relic weapon, like when you had to camp fates and stuff like that. I had a couple buddies that I would go big fish fishing for.
I fully see this being instanced.
Oh, hell yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most annoying part about it. But at least it will be kind of random, because I hope you don't need a group for this. You should just be able to...
I gotta get my fishing buddies together.
I hope it's just like you can queue for it and you can all go
I'm really
ocean fishing.
This is seriously hardcore 100% the patch of crafters and gatherers. It's really cool they're doing this for fishers. I liked the story. I honestly don't care about anything else.
But I liked when I would be in the open world fishing with someone and like there's
see how well he listened to me?
Like there used to be different conditions where like you had to get a certain fish to bite and then you had to HQ that and throw that fish back in to try to get a different fish.
I know the whole fishing thing.
And then like we would all like be like, "Oh, I got a chance to get the fish I'm going for," and then never fucking got
so
it.
You had a little bit of camaraderie.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say is like, I'm not excited for anything with this personally.
Come on, you got 2 new trials.
I don't care. I haven't done the last trial.
You got 1 new dungeon. You did the trial. You just didn't do the extreme version.
I know. The normal version is not doing the trial. I'm sorry. That's not doing the trial.
Shots fired at the casuals out there.
I'm a casual. I am fully hardcore, 100% casual
you're
right now.
Self-hating casual.
Well, I just don't. It does. I don't know. It just doesn't feel special.
Nothing wrong with being casual, but damn, shots fired, Avi.
I mean, it's not anything special doing them on normal mode. And everything that's getting love is crafters and gatherers. Everything that's getting love is crafters and gatherers, which they needed some love.
It's the best part of the game.
But it doesn't mean that you give all the love to crafters and gatherers at the same time. You need to like spread out your love.
They haven't had any love in 10
That's what
years.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like they shouldn't have like done no love and then a bunch of love. Like you got to give a little bit of love, keep them going for a while instead of going, okay, crafters and gatherers, you're gonna get all my love and then fuck everybody else.
You're like, damn, you gotta lube me up.
That's not at all where I was going with that.
I think that was a direct quote.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just like, okay.
Earlier, I mentioned the sky tools. Those are the primary tools that can be upgraded over the course of multiple patches. You'll begin this quest in the firmament, and you'll craft or gather specified items to enhance these tools. That's the relic weapon for crafters and gatherers.
Cool.
You can end it with miscellaneous updates, Avi.
Oh, I guess we're gonna skip the drama.
No, it's before the drama.
Oh, okay. Because we've gotten long already. It's already an hour and a half.
Now you're going too far up. You gotta get your scroll wheel on point, baby.
No, you didn't put it in bold, so I didn't see it.
Uh-oh.
All right. So a new Allegan tombstone will be added. Ooh, that's amazing.
Hell
Never do
yeah,
that.
baby.
They're going to get new Game Plus chapters. That's actually cool. There's going to be a rank.
It's just gonna be like what we just had. Like,
Yeah, there's going to be a rank increase for free companies. New courses in Leap of Faith.
can I say, like, I don't really care about like ranks and free companies,
Right.
Because it's what else are they gonna add? Like, what can they possibly add to a new rank in free company?
I have no idea. New items you can purchase.
Are they gonna introduce like a bigger fucking house?
Probably no. Like it's like the items you purchase that you can use in your free company, like the heat of the battle and stuff like that. So they might have a higher tier for that.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I would have rather than do Grand Company and just let me hoard more Grand Company seals.
New courses in Leap of Faith and fellowships can now be viewed in the companion app, and they saved the best for last. A surprise announcement that no one saw coming. Umbrellas
Fuck
will
yeah!
be added to the game.
I know a lot of you wanted more hairstyles for the Viera and the Rothgar, but you're just gonna have to wait, Avi.
I literally care about none of this.
The masses asked for umbrellas.
I care everything I just read. I care about none of this.
No, but umbrellas. This is what everyone was asking for.
The thing I cared the most about this entire patch is that I get my butt back.
Square Enix is giving the people what they want.
Butts and umbrellas.
Fucking umbrellas.
Very loud.
Will you be able to like pop it up?
The animation will probably be an emote.
Will you be able to cosplay Mary Poppins?
Bitch, I don't need to cosplay Mary Poppins.
Will you be able to hold it as a weapon?
Probably not. I really don't care.
What was that movie?
Even Rory just said, I don't remember asking for an umbrella. I never asked for an umbrella. I don't really care that there was an umbrella.
Why the fuck did they add umbrellas?
Because somebody asked for it somewhere and they thought it was a cool idea.
More people have asked for tacos than umbrellas.
I like tacos. Will it cast a shadow on the ground? I love it. You guys are just throwing out all the questions. Hope there is a selection of umbrellas in different colors. Then you can have a relic umbrella, and that one is a rainbow.
There's going to be one umbrella. It's gonna be black. It's not gonna open.
Then it's just a sword that's like a puffy sword.
It's gonna sit in a rack in your house.
They already have that. It's blue, and you can dye it.
It's blue.
But I like the relic umbrella idea. Sword umbrella, like you said, it's for red mages only. And
what was it? The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I mean,
Did
a
they have an
lot
umbrella
of people
sword?
have used umbrella swords in movies. That's happened in a lot of stories. They actually make those in like real life. Like you can buy.
I know. I've made my own.
I'm sure you have. It's just super random, and like I don't know. I'm sorry guys if I seem negative, but they now I get less dungeons, and everything else except for butts is either
ocean fishing.
Is either PvP or crafters and gatherers, and that's not me. So I'm just kind of like, okay, cool.
I mean, to be honest, some of that stuff was better than a dungeon. Like
for you,
this patch specifically is better than a dungeon because we're gonna get 2 trials. And even if you do the normal mode of that trial, that's better than a dungeon.
I mean, if you like love trials, I don't know. I guess I want something. I want something more challenging between a trial and a dungeon.
I want the game to give me a blowjob, but I'm not gonna get it.
I'm just saying, like there's like this area in the middle where dungeons are too easy and trials are just like people get angry and mean and I don't know. I just want something in the middle, and yeah, I don't know. I'm underwhelmed.
I know I've been kind of making fun of a lot of shit today. I'm actually kind of excited for this
I know
patch.
you are, and I'm not, and I'm just being honest. Like, if I haven't seemed excited for this podcast, and Pete's all like screaming and yelling and talking about umbrellas, because I literally don't care about any of this, and I'm kind of like, fuck.
Maybe need to write Yoshi P an email.
Why?
Dear Yoshi P, I'm disappointing you.
I'm not though. I am fully supportive of them. You know, like everybody plays the game differently, make content for everybody. But Yoshi P also said he's okay with me taking a break, and I'm gonna play other games since the content they're given is not content I want to play.
The risk you take, Yoshi P.
I'm
with
fully
this
not gonna play any of this.
Cycle.
I'm not gonna play this.
I mean, we're gonna get more MSQ. You're gonna play the MSQ.
Well, yeah, that is what I'll play. And then
Leonidas, Game BJ, submit your tickets, y'all. We need some VR. We need some VR, FFXIV.
We already have got the strip club.
Porn. Choose your own adventure. All right, Avi. I think this is what you were most excited to talk about. We got some drama.
I don't know that I'm excited to talk about this. I wouldn't say excited was the word I would use at all.
Wet for?
Would have used at all.
Oh. So you were not wet for this.
I don't like you right now. Gosh, you're so douchey tonight.
Why should tonight be any different?
You're only
Streamer
Oh.
Arthurs has been suspended for his behavior on Twitch. We're spilling the tea, as Avi likes to say. Do you wanna lead into this, or do you want me to lead into this?
So we can kind of talk about what happened. I didn't get to watch the actual video because it was removed. When this was all posted while I was at work and I couldn't watch
I will
the
say
video at
I
work.
did watch the video.
Did you watch the whole video or part of it? Because I was talking to you, it sounded like part of it.
I watched the clip.
Clip. Okay.
I mean, which was supposedly everything that he did.
Okay. So what ended up happening is he was in a 24-man raid. Was it 24-man raid, I believe? I don't remember actually what content he was doing. And he had been arguing with a black mage.
Just a minute. What you just said, if it was a 24-man raid, it changes my opinion 100%.
Oh.
If it was a savage 8-man raid, that's what I was assuming it was.
No.
But if this was a 24-man raid, it changes my opinion 100%.
I didn't see anyone talking about it being savage. I actually don't know what the content was.
Arthur's is usually a savage raider, so that's what I was assuming it was.
Oh, okay.
But if this was a 24-man raid,
I don't know what it was,
whoa.
actually. If anybody in chat actually knows what it was. I guess Work to Game has a summary and opinion video if anybody wants to write that. It was the Alexander raid. Okay.
But normal or savage? This is going to be a big thing for me.
Yeah, see, I didn't actually know if it was savage or not. Because my intent was just casual content. It was ultimate. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, my opinion stays the same.
Okay, so that actually changes mine a slightly. So
I'm drinking some Mad Dog 2020. I'm getting amped up for this shit.
I know. I'm ready for the podcast to end, guys.
We're going long. 3 hours, baby.
I don't want to.
I like how you always think I'm serious.
I never know. I never know. So I just treat it like you always are.
All right, let's talk about what happened.
Okay.
Okay.
So what happened?
Chili says he thought it was savage. A says he thought it was ultimate. So it's hard level content.
I said that. Okay, so they're doing hard level content. Arthur's and the particular black mage were already arguing in chat. And then, so they're having a bad interaction in game. And Arthur's is a streamer with hundreds of people watching him stream this. So to set the stage for anybody who's not familiar with him, he's got hundreds of people watching him stream. He's arguing with this guy in game. And part of it is he's parsing. And then he using the ACT, and he is verbally abusive toward the guy, and just because he's streaming, he's pissed and he's arguing with this guy. He got baited, and he let this guy get a rise out of him, and then he starts shaming the guy's DPS because it was extremely low. And then he doesn't only zoom in on the ACT parser while he's streaming to show the parsing numbers, he also zooms in on the person's name and calls them out for being a crappy DPS. And to me, the part that is not okay, well, one, you're a streamer and you have a large following, so you need to hold yourself to a higher standard because you have people who will listen to you and to what you say, and you don't know what they're going to do with the things you say. But by giving that person's name out, you have taken it too far. You have taken it too far. I mean, I've talked shit while I'm streaming, but I will not say the person's name. I will not call them out. And I'm actually not even against using the parser, because we've even talked about the parser can help you make your DPS better. But even Yoshi P, Square Enix, they've even said, we get that you use it. Just don't be a dick. Don't use it to be a dick. And this guy used it to be a dick. And yeah, a lot of people have said, and I've read this, a few people say this. First rule about Parse Club is you don't talk about Parse Club. You just...
All right, a lot of high-end streamers stream with the parse on.
Right. You can use the parse, you can talk about the parse actually, but you do not use the information that you get from the parse to shame or belittle or demean another player, regardless of what content you're running.
Yeah, and that's basically what we've said every time we talked about the parser. Parse.
And that's what he did.
Don't talk shit. But whenever we've said that, it has been in the context of talking shit in game. It's never been in the context of talking shit on stream.
Not to me, actually.
I mean, whenever we've talked about it,
No, literally.
You shit talk more than anyone I've ever seen.
But I don't say names.
But they might be able to see the names even if you didn't say it.
I'm not calling out the people.
If you're like, this other fucking healer in my group, if they see that name of the healer, they can know that name of the healer.
I don't have hundreds of people watching me as well.
We have thousands.
Okay, I wanted to respond with dozens, but I couldn't even respond with that. So it's just that, God, Pete, you threw me all off on this. I've actually treated
Okay, I have to say, I think everyone's taken this a little bit too extreme on both sides. This isn't a big deal to me. First of all, people who are examining the...
What?
Is that a word?
No.
Examining, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
If people who are examining the TOS, looking for like loopholes or whatever, I want to let everyone know, when a private company puts out a TOS, it might be really long. You're trying to like look for a loophole or whatever. But I guarantee you, they've put so much shit into that TOS that everyone should just assume that that TOS says, fuck you, we can do whatever we want.
There is some phrase, it says A, B, and C unless deemed otherwise. That's what's they're gonna have a catch-all.
They're gonna be able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Unless we feel like what you're doing is against our terms of service because that's how we feel.
And they're gonna have some way to justify doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yes. So reading through all this, one of the most interesting things I came across though actually was an interview done by E3 with Yoshi P all the way back in 2015. And in this interview, Yoshi goes on and he talks about, he says, you could say the same thing to those third-party DPS tools before they were talking about like leaks and stuff like that, data mining. He says, you could also say the same thing to those third-party DPS tools which show DPS. If you're by yourself or with your free company having fun, maybe they're not so bad. But if I am approached and asked whether they can be used, my answer is no. Those players having fun and using it on their own, maybe that's fine. But when one starts streaming to the world saying, look at me with this tool, that's where the problems start. Most players here are adults with morals, and you have to ask yourself whether this is a right thing. What if you're doing is going to affect the game and the experience and fun of the other player? Then maybe you should rethink it.
Okay. And
he literally is saying it's not about the parser, it's about you using the parser and affecting other people. That's what he doesn't like.
I totally get it. I totally agree with you. You should not shame anyone for their DPS.
It's cyberbullying is what that is.
Okay. Is it bullying if you boo baseball players? If you boo football players?
This is different.
I mean...
They're professional players.
If I want to go to a little...
Stop yelling in the microphone.
I was making a joke
It was really loud.
Come on, man.
You hurt my ears.
If I want to go to a Little League field and boo...
Then you're a bully. You're a jerk. You're Pete.
Can you not see that that was a joke?
Oh, nope.
I'm going to AYSO soccer games and booing kids.
And one of the bigger things is that there have been times with like World of Warcraft stream. Neither of us can. It's so dry right now, you guys. Like no matter how much water we drink, it's like my mouth is dry. It's like there's no humidity in the air.
It's not my problem. I'm just dumb.
All right. So WoW streamers in the past have harassed players, which in turn led to their viewer base harassing said players, and then Blizzard did nothing. And so I think it's better for Square Enix to be proactive in this situation and say, you know what, before we're going to let it get to that point, which that's the negative thing that could eventually happen from the individual bullying who has the following, cut the snake off at the head and be done with it. Eventually, ultimately, it's their product.
I believe that Square Enix was perfectly within their rights to give him a suspension.
He was actually very cool with the way he responded to the GM too about getting the suspension. He was like, "Okay, thank you for giving me the link."
I mean, he said that guy had said stuff to him that he had to blacklist that guy for.
But I know when your dad's like scolding you and you're like, "But the other guy did this too." Your dad's like, "I don't give a fuck what the other guy did. I care what you did, and you're going to your room."
But I mean, when I watched the thing,
right.
It definitely seemed like there was back and forth between the two of them. Personally, someone talks shit to me, I love talking shit back. So if someone were to talk shit to me and then like we had just run a raid together and like they did shit DPS, I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Look at your DPS, you motherfucker. Like,
the difference is he had a platform.
I know, but I could definitely see myself if like someone, and maybe it's my fault because I'm letting someone trigger me or bait me or whatever, but like I would never like be like, hey, everyone fucking shame this guy.
You don't have to say that for people to shame him though.
But like, that's the thing. Like, if people see me do that, like, they should not go shame that.
Well, yeah, should do and should not do.
But that's on them. That's not. Is that on me?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I think it is. That's
like blaming video games for violence.
Gamergate. Do you think one person would like said, "Oh, hey, let's go stalk this chick"? No, it just happened because one person said something negative.
Yeah, but that's on them. But did they tell him to go stalk them?
Peter, it's not on them. If you have a platform and you're essentially giving them permission to make fun of this person because you're this person who they view as a cool, important, whatever person, and you say, "I hate chocolate. Chocolate is the worst thing in the world." It's like, well, I really respect so-and-so and he hates chocolate, so I'm going to hate chocolate too. Like, you have that power when you have that kind of a platform and you need to be responsible with it. See, with great power comes great responsibility. It's like an old freaking quote, Pete. Reason 1803's got you right there. History.
Kill your idols is the quote I live by.
I think you just made that up.
Never worship someone that much where you just believe their blanket statements.
So Chili said you shouldn't be a dick, but if you're doing ultimate, you expect a certain level of skill. I also agree. But if you are a streamer with a platform of hundreds or thousands of people watching you, you also need to keep that in your forefront of your mind.
Damn it, you said Peter. People know my fucking name now. All right, ultimately I say, all right, these two...
You know he's getting over the top when I bring out the full name. I add the R.
These two were having an altercation. He got baited. He did some shit he shouldn't have done. Square Enix was within their rights to give him a suspension. He'll learn. Like I said at the beginning, it's not a big deal to me.
I did read the
Low-key, I thought it was fucking hilarious.
He means the actual interaction.
The actual interaction I thought was hilarious. I think he's been baited a lot because he had a fucking scene set up where you know like when you play like a Guitar Hero or a karaoke game, when you fail a level they're like boo.
Yeah. That's
what he's had set up.
Okay, but then you say baited a lot. That if I see someone who has a scene switcher like that, they're not baited a lot, they're a dick.
Or see, I feel that they got in enough altercations where they did that.
Because they're a dick. What's the constant in the situation?
Here's a dick.
Where's the constant? Like, and I think that the reason
chicken or the egg.
The fact that he had that scene changer means that this has been happening on the regular. So I feel like they were keeping an eye out for it to happen again to suspend him because they don't want this to keep happening.
Basically, now that the game has changed. So I think the most important thing to take from this is the first time someone that we know of anyway has been banned for not content in game.
Right.
But for content
no, it's
displayed
not the first time. It's
outside of game.
Twitter. That happened in Twitter before.
I guess it had happened on Twitter when you were using like nudie mods.
It was one particular person. Yeah. I did some research.
Yeah.
But the difference with this is that with Twitch, you link your Lodestone account. You can't let this person link their Lodestone account, and there's no way to say that wasn't me that did that. That wasn't my character. That wasn't. Everything is verified. And it's like 100% you did this. We have it recorded. People watched it happen live. There's like no way to say, I didn't do that. That was modified.
There's no way he could do that. He hasn't tried to do that. I mean, he definitely owned it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to say he's trying to get out of this. I don't.
No, he didn't.
Arthur's himself is not trying to like do any outrage.
No.
It's people being outraged for him,
Yep.
which is usually the case on either side. You're either outraged for the person who that you view as the martyr or not martyr.
Well, I disagree with him calling the person's name out. That's where he crossed the line for me.
I watched the video. I honestly couldn't tell who he was talking about because he was talking about DPS stance, so I thought he was talking about the tank, but apparently he was talking about the black mage.
I think you're just dumb.
That's definitely a possibility. I do not hide that fact. Okay?
So, but I did read the screenshot of the conversation he had with
the GM.
The GM, and the way he responded, he did throw the excuse out that the guy and him had an altercation. He had to blacklist the other guy, and it kind of came out. It was like I kind of said before, where it's that conversation you're having with your dad when you're in trouble. Like the GM's dad going, "I don't care. I care about you. You're the one that people saw. You're the one we have video of." He didn't say all this, but you're the one who's getting in trouble because of A, B, and C. The other guy doesn't have A, B, and C, so the other guy's not getting in trouble because I don't care about that.
But the most interesting thing is that the GM posted a link to the Twitch video, and it's like nothing was reported in game per se.
No, well, and actually, because the guy said, the streamer asked, "Can you please let me know where it was?" And then the GM kind of gave a weak answer, and he goes, "Well, how am I supposed to know what I did wrong if you don't tell me?"
That's kind of the bullshit that these companies always do.
Right.
It's like,
but
to protect privacy.
But then they gave him the link to it was in this stream, and then he goes, "Okay, I know what it was." Like he knew he went too far with it. If he sees the link and goes, "I know what I did,"
well,
he knows.
I still think he probably thinks he was within his rights to do it.
If he immediately knew,
if this motherfucker was talking shit and I did that, I'd still think I was within my rights.
Not for terms of service of Square Enix.
I know that's irrelevant, honestly.
No, that's the point.
That's within my rights to respond, and if I'm going to get banned for it, yeah, I'm going to get banned for it.
That's what I mean.
I'm not debating
I think
that.
Then you're debating something I'm not even talking about. He knew when he saw the link.
He was fine with the.
He knew when he saw the link. Oh yeah, I went too far for Square Enix on that stream.
Yeah, for Square Enix.
Right.
For me.
I'm not talking about you.
You guys are having a fight. You guys are having a fight, and you can.
But the difference,
you can throw some shade, you can throw some shit,
okay,
you can throw some
this
DPS.
is literally me talking at a wall. The difference is that he had a platform. It's not two guys having an argument. It's not.
Just kiss and make up, guys. We're not going to get anywhere with this conversation.
Obviously.
I mean,
this is why I actually almost didn't even want to talk about this.
I think the big conversation is Square
Enix.
Enix.
So loud tonight.
Is Square Enix within their rights to ban him? Yes. I don't think that there's any question about that. They were within their rights. Should he have done what he had done? Probably not. Do I still find it funny? Yes.
You're a dick.
Okay.
You're mean. You like mean stuff. You think mean stuff is funny. I don't.
If the guy was giving a shit and he gave shit back, gave it a little harder.
I think so.
What are you going to do?
All right.
Listener reaction, Navi.
You skipped a section.
Did I?
Yes.
It's the community roundup, partner.
Thank God. All right. So this week, the community roundup is about someone and something that I think is pretty damn awesome and positive after that rant of drama and husband and wife-ness.
I don't think that was a husband and wife thing. I think that was just a...
It's for YouTuber BCI Can Do Better. And he describes why this is amazing, much better than I can. And says, after almost 5 years, I got to play Final Fantasy XIV using my brain implants. My brain signals are being sent to a computer that is running a keyboard emulator. Since this was our first time attempting it, I only have control of movement, interact, and the one key. Stream is amazing, or it's video on YouTube. We're going to be sharing the link in the show notes, as well as I will share it in chat for you guys here in Twitch with us. I'm really excited to see more videos that come out when he gets more and more controls of the various actions within the game. You are a rock star, BCI Can Do Better, and I really, really want to see what happens and how much more of the game you get to play. I can't believe you had to wait 5 years to get to play, and I just think it's so cool. Like, it's a really cool video if you guys check it out. He's actually really good too. He's like he's a level 1 paladin or whatever this marauder, whatever they start as. I don't know at the top of my head. I don't tank. And he's really good at moving his character around in between attacks, and it's really cool. I thought it was awesome. So that was Community Roundup. 5 years. I know. All right, so now it's time for some listener reaction. So first we have from @Voxna7, who says, this was in response to Pete commenting last week that Final Fantasy XIV has amazing community support. He doesn't know any other games that have community support as good as Final Fantasy XIV's, and he responds with, the thing about the Destiny community team is that they talk to everyone literally every Thursday about what's going on with the game in their This Week at Bungie update. And I actually really appreciated that he came and gave us this information, because they said, see, there are other games that actually give content updates and information on a regular basis, and set Pete straight when he's talking about shit he doesn't know about. I appreciate that.
First of all, I want to say I had to get up and go to the bathroom.
I know. You didn't miss anything.
Imagine how hard I would have fought you if I didn't have to go to the bathroom. But for that community roundup, that was amazing. I remember the first time I saw that video, I didn't want to watch it because I saw it at work and I knew I was going to start crying. I'm like, it's so amazing when people can do shit like that.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
That's really cool.
Thank you so much for that, Voxna7. I will say I do know that other companies do that, Avi.
I don't really want to argue with you anymore. I really don't.
Because the greatest game of all time, Dark Age of Camelot.
So next we
still
have a
does
tweet.
A weekly grab bag where they answer audience questions.
You're like weirdly obsessed with a really old game. Weird, Pete. It's really weird. So @SusanSprinkle tweeted that she was baking chocolate chunk shortbread cookies while watching Avi Ale on the She Heals I Tank baking stream, which I thought was amazing because it was like we were baking together on opposite coasts. So that was super, super awesome. Super cool. And I guess I'm going to keep reading these. @MoogleGoRoundChili tweets, if you missed the She Heals I Tank baking stream earlier, don't worry, you can catch their VOD over at twitch.tv/videos. Maybe give them a follow. Let's have 2020 be when they reach their 1,000 followers. Thank you, Tilly. Really appreciate that. And Pete's tying a beanie around his face, so I guess I'll be talking the rest of the night.
Deity says, I missed the stream, but gonna watch the VOD for sure.
So loud tonight. And finally, @Mistoso says, thanks for a fun stream, everyone, and shout out to She Heals I Tank for the raid. We got that re-clear. And so, yeah, and a little bit about him going out of town.
Shout out Mistoso.
Big hugs. All right, Pete, do you and your combative self...
You just say me and my cum.
Combative self want to add anything to the podcast tonight?
Me and my cum wants to say thank you so much for hanging out. It's been an amazing year of podcasting, and I put this beanie over my head, and now it's fucking hot. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Avi. It has been a really fun year.
I think you had more to drink tonight than I thought you did, and you made it a very frustrating podcast for me for the last podcast of the year, so I can't even be sweet and nice right now. I just need a break.
I mean, that's usually how most of the podcasts end, though.
Not really. All right, so that is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with you all live here on Twitch. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Be sure to hit that follow button so you'll know the next time we will be going live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and the app that's going to come out next week that I don't know about yet. You really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review. Or more important, tell a friend to check us out. Here with Vegan Pete, I am Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next year. Goodbye.
Goodbye.